Hey, everyone! I've got some absolutely massive news to share with you today, and trust me, you'll want to hear every detail of this. The IRS has just dropped a bombshell announcement that's going to impact around 1 million Americans. They're automatically sending out $1,400 stimulus checks. I know, this sounds almost too good to be true, but I promise you, this is 100% legitimate, straight from the IRS themselves. Let me break this down for you in detail, because there's a lot to unpack here, and I want to make sure you have all the information you need. These $1,400 payments are actually connected to the 2021 Recovery Rebate Credit, or RRC for short. Remember those stimulus checks we got back in 2021? Well, it turns out that quite a few people, about 1 million of them, never received their payments. And the IRS is finally stepping up to fix this oversight. Now you might be wondering, why is this happening now? Well, the IRS has been doing some serious number crunching, reviewing tax records, and they discovered that many eligible Americans didn't claim their RRC on their 2021 tax returns. Instead of making everyone jump through hoops and file amended returns, they're taking the initiative to automatically send out these payments. That's right, if you're eligible, you won't have to lift a finger to get your money. Let's talk about how these payments are going to work. If you're one of the lucky million, you'll receive your payment either through direct deposit or as a paper check. If the IRS has your banking information on file, they'll just drop that $1,400 right into your account, quick and easy. If they don't have your banking details, you'll get a paper check in the mail. Just keep in mind that mail delivery times can vary, so don't panic if your neighbor gets theirs before you do. Now for the big question on everyone's mind: how do I know if I qualify? The main criteria here is pretty straightforward. If you didn't claim the ERRC on your 2021 tax return, and you never received that $1,400 stimulus check from 2021, you might be in line for this payment. But here's the catch: this mainly applies to people who actually filed a 2021 tax return. Don't worry if you didn't file, though I'll explain what that means for you in just a bit. The timeline for these payments is pretty tight. The IRS is saying that all payments should be distributed by the end of January. That means, if you're eligible, you could be seeing that money hit your account within the next few weeks. For those getting paper checks, it might take a little longer due to mailing times. But hey, better late than never, right? Let's put this into perspective with some numbers. The entire initiative is going to cost about $2.4 billion. That might sound like an astronomical amount, but when you break it down per person, it comes out to that $1,400 we've been talking about. For many families, this could be a real game changer, especially with today's economic challenges. Now, I want to address something really important. What about our fixed income friends? I'm talking about folks on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or other similar benefits. Many of you might not typically file tax returns, which makes this situation a bit more complicated. But don't worry, because you might still be eligible for this payment. Here's the deal: if you didn't file a tax return in 2021 and never received that automatic $1,400 stimulus check, you'll need to take some action to claim your Recovery Rebate Credit. This means filing a tax return for 2021, even if you normally don't have to. I know this might sound daunting, especially for seniors, low-income households, and people with disabilities who might not be familiar with the tax filing process. The reason for this extra step is simple. The IRS needs a tax return on file to verify your eligibility and get your payment to you. They can't just send out checks without having the proper documentation to prove who qualifies. If you're in this boat, now is definitely the time to take action. Take a moment to think back to 2021. Do you remember getting a $1,400 payment, either in your bank account or as a check? If you're absolutely certain you didn't receive it, and you haven't claimed the ERRC on a tax return, you might be one of the people the IRS is looking for. I know all this tax talk can feel overwhelming, especially if you're not used to dealing with it. That's why I strongly recommend reaching out to a tax professional or CPA who can guide you through the process. They can help determine if you're eligible and show you how to file that tax return correctly. Remember, this isn't just about jumping through hoops. It's about getting money that's rightfully yours. Let me be crystal clear about something. If you already got your $1,400 stimulus check back in 2021, you won't be getting another one. This initiative is specifically targeting people who missed out the first time around and haven't claimed their Recovery Rebate Credit yet. For our fixed income beneficiaries, those receiving SSDI, SSI Social Security retirements, spousal benefits or survivor benefits, and for our low-income friends who don't usually file taxes, there's only one path forward if you want to claim this payment: filing a federal tax return. I know it might not be what you wanted to hear, but it's the only way to access this payment at this point. The good news is, you've still got time. The deadline to file your 2021 tax return and claim the $1,400 stimulus check is April 15, 2025. That's because the IRS gives you a 3-year window from the original tax filing deadline to make corrections or file late returns. But honestly, why wait? If you think you're eligible, it's better to get the ball rolling now. When you file your tax return, you absolutely must claim the Recovery Rebate Credit, RRC. This is super important. Just filing a tax return isn't enough. You need to specifically claim this credit to let the IRS know you never received your stimulus payment. They won't automatically figure this out on their own. You need to explicitly tell them by including it on your return. For those of you feeling uncertain about how to file taxes or claim the RRC, please don't try to go it alone. Connect with a tax professional, whether that's a CPA, an accountant, or a reputable tax preparer. They deal with this stuff every day and can make sure everything's done right. Everyone's situation is different, and having professional guidance can be absolutely invaluable. Let's circle back to those automatic payments I mentioned earlier. The IRS is currently in the process of sending out $1,400 payments to about 1 million people who already filed tax returns but somehow missed claiming the RRC. If you're in this group, you don't need to do anything. The IRS has identified the oversight and is handling it automatically. Your payment will come to you directly, no action required on your part. But I want to emphasize this again because it's crucial. If you already received your $1,400 stimulus check back in 2021, you're not going to get another one. These payments are strictly for eligible individuals who missed out the first time around. I want to be totally transparent about this. No false hopes or misconceptions. Everything I'm sharing with you comes straight from the IRS's official announcements. You can verify all of this information on their website. I'm not making any promises or guarantees here. I'm simply passing along the information as it's been provided by the IRS themselves. For our fixed income beneficiaries and low-income individuals who didn't receive the third stimulus check, remember, filing a federal tax return and claiming the RRC is your pathway to this payment. You've got until April 15, 2025. But seriously, don't wait until the last minute. Take action now, get professional help if you need it, and make sure you're not leaving money on the table that you're entitled to receive. I know navigating government programs and tax requirements can feel like trying to solve a puzzle blindfolded sometimes, but that's exactly why I wanted to break this down for you today. Your financial well-being matters, and having accurate information is the first step toward making sure you get every dollar you deserve. Remember, this isn't just about getting a payment. It's about ensuring that you receive the financial support that was intended for you in the first place. Whether you're a fixed income beneficiary, a low-income individual, or someone who simply missed claiming the RRC on your tax return, there's a path forward for you to receive this payment. So, what's your next step? If you think you might be eligible, start gathering your documentation. Pull out your 2021 tax return if you filed one. Check your bank statements from that year and make an appointment with a tax professional if you need guidance. The sooner you take action, the sooner you can potentially get your $1,400 payment. And hey, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Are you one of the million people who might be receiving an automatic payment? Or are you someone who needs to file a tax return to claim your stimulus check? Share your situation and let's help each other navigate this process. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to stay updated on any new developments with these payments and other financial news that could impact your wallet. Thanks for staying with me through all these details. I know it was a lot of information, but when it comes to $14, I wanted to make sure you had every single detail you needed. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.